G'day watchers, welcome to Perth Watch, your horology channel broadcasting from right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I have a piece from a new brand, Zealandic, and I assume that logo is Miyota Peak in the South Island, one of the most iconic scenes in New Zealand. Milford Sound, I think that's where it's located. This brand comes shipped in this box at the moment, and unfortunately at this level it doesn't. That's pretty much a zero spin rating, but on the side, not that great. So probably 2 out of 5 spin rating, I reckon, for this brand. So not the best spinning box, but it's pretty unique. I haven't quite seen this hexagonal type of box here, and that is the logo there, kind of faux leather, I suppose, or maybe it's real leather, suede type of feel on the inside. And then the way it houses the watch is interesting as well. You have to slip this out, all right, and it houses the watch like that, and then you can slip the watch off. So it's something relatively unique. At least I haven't seen type of housing like that before. So that was an interesting little new experience for me. And just showing the watch to you guys in detail here. So this is their debut piece. It is called the Iceborne. It is an automatic watch, and it will be launching on Kickstarter in the near future. Super early bird price is rated at 441 USD. The single Kickstarter standard price 483 is what Derek, the owner, has quoted to me. This is of course the blue color. It does come in a burgundy as well as a green. Screenshots right here for you guys to appreciate how it looks like. Now, of course, the timepiece is New Zealand inspired, very much unashamedly New Zealand inspired, which I think it's not a bad thing at all, actually. Textures, colors go into this watch here, and this particular dial color inspired by the ice caves of the Tasman Glacier, or at least the texture is definitely inspired by that. Now, first off, as I usually do, talk about the movement, guys. So this is the Miyota 9039 in here. So good on them for putting in a no-date movement. This is a 28,800 beat per hour, as you can see there. All other specs on the left side of screen. Now, in the 1 week I have had this running, this is running excellently. It is about +3 seconds per day, which is very, very good, and very, very easy to live with, in my opinion. Right, moving on to the case here. So this is a 39mm diameter case. That's what it measures across here. 316L steel, of course. The thickness to the top of the glass or crystal there is 11.7mm, 20mm lug width. And then I'll point out it is drilled lug, so that's a nice touch in addition there. 47mm lug to lug distance between my thumbnails there. On leather strap or suede strap, it is only 74 grams. So, very easy, I think, in this weight to forget you're wearing it. Very comfortable weight to carry for anyone, I reckon. Okay, finishing wise, the circular brushing on the bezel that you can see there. Hopefully that's very easy to see. It is long brush on the top of the lugs, long brush on the side with a very fine polished bevel. This is a little bit hard to see. Hopefully the lighting catches it. There's a polished bevel on the top of the lug, that angled of the case there. Circular brushing on the bottom surface of the lugs here. And then of course you can see that laser etched Aotearoa, New Zealand. Right? That's interestingly, this actually has aligned very well into, despite being a solid screw down case back. That's about the right alignment of New Zealand there. So laser edge case back, screw down solid design, and then a screw down sign crown. The water rating of this watch is a full 200 meters. So very, very much capable for everyday usage, even scuba diving actually, if it's a true 200 meter watch. Now, moving on to the dial then, this is, perhaps most of the action here. This is a deep stamp dial. They call it the Tasman Glacier inspired dial. It's got an applied logo just under the 12 o'clock index there. But the indices, all 12 indices, including the compass numerals, which are very nicely done, are floating, and they really, you know, have a very nice effect here. It really pops out of the dial here. It's got a printed chapter ring around the periphery, and of course the brand name at the 6 o'clock position. In terms of hands, high polish, partially skeletonized baton main hands, and a very, you know, fairly standard simple arrow for the seconds hand. And lume-wise on the 3 main hands, as well as all 12 indices, it's pretty fantastic. It's very, very nicely glowing C3 blue line X1 lume. So X1 is of course supposed to be a new super glowing or even brighter glowing lume. I'll let you look at the lume shot right here to see how it glows in the dark, and it glows excellently. Very, very easily glows through the night, like the best of any of my Swiss watches here. Okay, moving on to the crystal. So this is a lightly domed, they call it double domed, and it does look like that, hardly any distortion to speak of. Internal anti-reflective coating. It's got a slight box edge there, which is not a bad thing. I do love box crystals. This is a very, very mild box edge there. Okay, so that's the entire description of the case. In terms of strap, they do come in this suede leather straps. This is of course matching the dial here, blue stitch suede. Nothing too special, but it is fairly nice and supple here with that backing, and simple brushed hardware. Right? It does come with quick release bars as well, as you can see there. Okay, so guys, that is the entire description of this watch. Let's pop it on the wrist for a wrist shot for you guys now. And there you have it, the Zealandic Iceborne, right, in blue dial here on my 17 centimeter wrist. Now this, 39 millimeters fits very, very well. I think fits most guys very well. Only 47 millimeters on the lug to lug, and only 11.7 millimeter on the thickness there. Okay, so very easy to carry, I think, and very, conservative overall, with a very attractive blue dial, I think, and that's how that suede leather strap sits on the wrist there. Okay, so guys, that is the entire watch. Now, what have I enjoyed about this? This is a prototype, mind you, okay? But I would say it's very, very nicely executed, right? For a debut piece. And logical inspirations, they've gone for, blue, they've gone for glacial inspiration here. The blue lume, they say, is inspired by glowworms, which is, something New Zealand is famous for. It's one of the attractions in the South Island, in some of the caves there. So, these things are logical as opposed to some of the illogical references or inspirations that is sometimes quoted by, micro brand debuts. I think they've made a lot of good choices, right? 39 millimeter sizing, conservative, restrained, and not over the top by any means. I like the blue X1 lume. It really is very well applied, and I think they've applied a generous amount, at least in this prototype. I like the high polish hands, as well as the floating indices. Now, those indices are excellent. They really do pop the way that they've done here. I don't know whether it's going to capture it very well here, but it really does make that dial quite attractive with those high polish on those indices, as well as the hands on what is effectively a satin type of finish dial. Very nice choices there. And I think the inclusions are fair, very fair. A Miyota 9000 series movement, a dome sapphire crystal, and really great lume, as I've already said. Now, any weaknesses? Well, look, I'm really really nitpicking here. There's not much to say. The case, I guess, maybe the most significant weakness here. It does look fairly standard, maybe even OEM. I suspect there's probably some customization here, but it's nothing special. It's nothing you haven't seen before. And only one more thing to say, right? They've given an excellent 200 meter water resistance, but they've paired it with leather. And I always find that a little bit illogical. I don't know, about that choice. Panerai do it all the time, 300 meters with, leather. But you're not going to take this underwater, right? At least I wouldn't advise that. I don't think anybody I know would take leather underwater. So perhaps a different choice of strap might be better, or at least, maybe provide an option to change it up, an alternative in the case. That would be probably a great thing they can do to up the entire package. So guys, there you go. My review of this rather good debut piece from Zealandic. Let me know what you think. Look forward to the thoughts and discussions, and keep an eye out for their Kickstarter coming soon. Thank you again, guys, for joining me on this review. I'll catch you next time.